Hi friends, strangers, internet. My name's EmilyHanhan. I love colorful makeup and colorful language. The beauty guru is dead. Long live the internet creative. Now, I don't know, a couple of weeks, a couple of months late to talk about this topic, but it's time. It's time. Also, I have a fresh set of nails, so I'm on my talking with my hands bullshit as per usual. It's not anything new, but they're shiny and fresh. So we're going to do this in a way that I enjoy doing videos, which is a chatty get ready with me. And I'm just gonna talk about my feelings on this whole topic. And I'm also going to be playing with the Sugar Drizzle Pickle Palette, which is a beautiful little 6-pan green pink palette. It's my first time ever using Sugar Drizzle. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to put on some makeup. And if you like colorful makeup, if you like bitches with lots of opinions, or you just like cute fat babes, I hope you will subscribe. Now, if you are new around here, two of my dear friends, Audra at home, and T of Nappy Headed Ahoba, have talked about this and done really lovely, great videos. So if you haven't, for some reason, already seen those videos, I will link them and hopefully the cards and in the description box. But I just think it's such an interesting conversation because I am a person, chronically online, perpetually online, a human of the internet. There's a lot of ways you could talk about it, but I have been active online in the 90s. We had a computer in our house from a pretty young age. I was born in 84. We had the internet from a pretty young age. So, I always think about, or that always comes up in my perspective on things about the internet, because I have been a part of it for a long time. And I just think that it's such an interesting moment in the world, and I wanted to talk about everything. And, if you are a viewer of mine, or if you're new here, hello, hi. I'm sure you can see shifting tides. I'm sure, this is something that you have noticed, whether it's people that you watch making fewer videos or doing less online, or talking about burnout, or shifting to other ways to make money and build, businesses and your namesake. The traditional, what we consider, I guess, traditional beauty guru way of life, I feel like I think if you're the biggest of the biggest creators and you've already kind of hit that stratosphere, maybe the traditional way of doing things is kind of still valid. And by traditional, I just mean making videos, having collaborations, having affiliate links and sponsorships and all of that. But I think we're in this moment where we've realized, that a lot of us have realized, oh, these platforms, they aren't working for us. We're working for them. We're working for the advertisers, or these platforms are really working for the advertisers. I think that seeing Instagram shift the way it has recently has really it's really shocked a lot of people. So in case, you need a refresher, Instagram has shifted to really be focused on video. They're pushing video content. They are shifting their layout to basically copy TikTok. It's a full screen, like 16:9 screen. You swipe to go through your content. I haven't gotten that upgrade yet, but I have heard about it. I feel like the Instagram shift, not only did it infuriate a lot of people, because that it did, I think it's reminding people that Instagram works for the advertisers and not the creators or, the general audience of people that are just uploading photos of their dogs and their dinners and all of that. And I think the Instagram change has highlighted this lack of upward mobility because, is there a creator fund of sorts for TikTok Reels? There is, but it tends to cap out at about $100, and then your viewership tanks. There are all these different things that are being done to draw people to do video, but they're not really drawing people to do video because it's going to be good for you. It's good for advertisers. And I think you feel as a creator, I have felt the lack of upward mobility on YouTube quite a bit because, you have the biggest of the big creators who make a lot of money, probably a lot from YouTube, but a lot more from, advertisers and sponsorships and things like that. And then you have everyone else, and you have YouTube with a really strenuous process to even get monetized. I feel very lucky to have gotten monetized, when I did and at the effort level that I did. But I think that this reality check that we are working in a capitalist system that does not have the creative's best interest at heart, that's what I feel like a lot of the kind of death of the beauty guru is coming from. Because I truly think your more traditional beauty guru is going to continue to exist. The ones that do soft glam, neutral smoky eyes, not, the editorial types. I think that those gurus are always going to exist in whatever way, kind of that world exists. But I think that there is this shift that's happened. So what I was thinking about this, something that I started realizing is that there was a lot of people that really got into making content, creating on the internet, because it's not just making content, but a lot of people started creating on the internet in 2020. And they didn't necessarily just start, but they maybe doubled down. They really got into it, whether it's because they had an opportunity to work from home, or whether it's because they lost their job, or whatever it might be. For some people, this was the moment where they were like, oh, it's time. I need to just fucking go for it. And people have been doing work for 2, if not more years. And they're starting to kind of see and understand just how little these platforms care about small creators. And that's okay. I mean, it's not okay, but it is what it is in a lot of ways. That's how I feel about it, where I'm like, it's not okay, but it is what it is. But I think that people are having that breaking point where they realize, what is and isn't worth their time. And I think that is creating a lot of this like burnout and people stepping away from things and doing less. And I personally feel like with platforms really showing, you know, that they want you always producing special content for them and not just, you know, reposting a TikTok to Instagram or things like that. Once we started really seeing just like how pushy the platforms are for content, I think that there is this breaking point. There is this feeling of like, okay, I can't just I'm not a content farm. I'm not able to just pump things out and just fucking keep going and have the quality the same or improved, because, you know, that's always the thing that, you know, you hear as a creator is you should always be increasing your volume or increasing your quality and volume, and it should, you know, both things and all of this. So I think that for creators that had an opportunity to really like sink their teeth in the last couple of years, this is that turning point of realizing that you have to prioritize your own mental health over capitalism, or a lot of creators are, you know, going back into work. Either they have found opportunities or, you know, they're actually going back into a physical job. You know, for some of us that have been working remote, as things change, that completely changes your ability to film. The amount and the speed and all of this stuff. So I think that like with all of the shifts of the world paired with platform shifts, paired with, you know, seeing platforms not really pay properly. I think if you're a person that's doing stuff on TikTok, there's definitely a possibility that you're seeing, you know, big creators get a lot of undisclosed sponsorship money, and that feels, you know, hard to swallow. There's all these different things that have happened, especially in the last couple of months, that really, in my opinion, really highlight how much the capitalist hooks are in everything we do online. And so as people are realizing that getting that upward mobility is much, much harder, as people are realizing that, you know, you kinda, and not kinda, but you kinda have to be a salesperson to really get a lot of these like sponsorship kind of situations. I think they're realizing their own limits, and not in a negative way, but in a limit of what you want to do, what you want to give up or, you know, create. And so more of us we are shifting in our own ways, you know. Audra, I feel like, Audra's my friend, so I talk to them a lot. So I'm influenced by, you know, things they say, but they phrased it as this third wave of beauty content. And I agree with that, or of creators. I won't even say of like content. But I think as creators, we are realizing, you know, our own desires and limits, and it's really framing out what we're doing and how we're doing it, how we're moving in this space. And I don't even know if I said this well, but like the no upward mobility thing, it's just, so for me, something that like I see that is frustrating is that there are a lot of big creators who stay in the space that they have, you know, gotten to, and they are not kind of like passing the baton. So even as they are creating other brands, as they are, you know, doing things outside of YouTube, which is like, it's what you have to do too. You can't, that's the other part of it. Like, you can't just create on YouTube. So it makes sense that, you know, big creators are doing stuff on TikTok. They're starting brands. They're doing all these things. But there is an ability for these creators to like vocalize, okay, I am not creating on this platform anymore, and you know, I'm gonna step away. And it's not to like push them out, it's to make space for other creators. And you know, you don't see creators kind of recommend or share smaller creator stuff. You see all of this stuff that really lets them hold on to the power that they have. And if that's, you know, the life that they have chosen, if that's the way they want to do it, that's their right to do it. But I can be a bitter bitch about it because I want to be a bitter bitch about it. And it's not just being bitter, it's being frustrated, because at some point in time, I feel like you did see mobility. You did see like new kids in town getting a footing in these spaces. And then the new kids were just like, yeah, no, we're not leaving. But these new kids are the, you know, James and Manny's and Jacqueline's and all of these people. And I'm like, okay, but it feels like pulling teeth to see you do YouTube. Some of them, not all of them. I don't keep up with, I don't actually keep up with any of them. But so seeing that like lack of upward mobility, those spaces not opening up, and it's not just them leaving, but the lack of creators, you know, saying, I want to help other creators grow, you know, that doesn't happen either. And so I know it's fucking depressing. Like, it is depressing. It's depressing to see because, you know, as somebody that has been watching YouTube for a long time now and has been active on social media for a long time, you see growth and, you know, and it's not like I expect you to abandon an empire, but I think it's just vocalizing that there are other creators out there, there are smaller creators, check out their work, stuff like that, that at one point in time you did see in the space. And I realized that at that time, sharing that kind of stuff kind of could have created and did create more drama for some people. So it stopped happening. Okay, I get it. But I still think that it's pretty fucking depressing that, you know, a couple of spoiled sports could ruin the whole situation. So when you really see that lack of upward mobility and you realize that this like growth that you thought was a possibility isn't, it just makes it easier to mentally check out. And that's not me criticizing anybody that has mentally checked out. But I think that it's not even, and okay, so this is a good point. This is I'm going somewhere with this. I don't want to mentally check out. I really enjoy doing this kind of stuff. So that's where we get this kind of shift, as Audra has said, this third wave in beauty, where more and more of us are like, okay, well, I like beauty and I like other things. And whether it's beauty and commentary, beauty and media, beauty and like video games, all of these different things that are happening. And I know for me, I still love beauty, and I like making makeup related videos. I like creating makeup looks. I like doing videos about things. So for me, I have been in a lot of like, I don't want to say turmoil, but it has bummed me out feeling like people aren't as much into seeing, you know, the kinds of stuff that I like to make. But I realized that like there is so much more to this than just the beauty. And so I think for me, the big spoiler that I dropped at the beginning of the video is where I stand, where I truly feel like there are those of us that just want to be creatives on the internet. And so I think that this is exactly where we get to the crux of everything with being an internet creative. Am I going to talk about beauty on the internet? I am. I love creating beauty. I love sharing looks. I love talking about textures and finishes and how things perform and how things, you know, last over time. Although actually I don't really talk about that. I don't really love that part. So scratch that. But I love thinking about beauty as creative expression. I don't think about all of this as just, you know, putting shit on my face. Sometimes it is that. But for me, I have realized that there is so much power in the creative expression. And so I feel like that's what we're seeing. You know, people that like to edit videos and film videos, they are doing creative work. And they are, you know, expressing a perspective, a feeling, opinions, and sharing it with you. And they want to see how you feel and how you react to it. And I feel that way about, you know, talking about makeup and sharing looks. I want to see how people respond to this. I want to see, you know, how people feel. I'm not basing my worth and my value on their feelings. That's not the reason. But I am, you know, putting art into the world. And I think that, you know, there's so much of the beauty space that gets so much fucking shit and, you know, gets seen as very flippant stuff that doesn't matter because it's feminine, typically feminine shit. And it's not flippant to me. Like the community of people that have found my channel and found the channels of my friends, that community is fucking phenomenal. And so I find it really like frustrating and depressing and all of the above when, you know, the beauty space gets really simplified down to flippant shit. So, since I'm sitting here talking about how beauty is dead, all of that, what does that mean for me? What does that mean for this community? I'm not going anywhere. I'm a creative on the internet. I'm an internet creative. I am here talking about beauty, talking about being neurodivergent as fuck, being weird as hell, asexual, aromantic. I'm going to talk about fat liberation and diet culture and anything else I want to, and anything else that y'all share with me that inspires me. And I think that just for me, kind of configuring my brain to realize that I am just a creative person on the internet has been incredibly helpful, because it's so easy. And this is another reason why I think that a lot of the traditional beauty guru kind of spaces are not welcoming, and they're not something, it's not a system I'm trying to break into. And I think that's the thing with the changes in social media, with what we're seeing on Instagram and all these other platforms, and the demands that are required. I think more and more of us are realizing that the traditional, or what felt like new school routes to like fame are really the same shit repackaged over and over again. And so I think for a lot of us, we're saying, okay, I'm not taking that route. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want to do. And I'm not taking the route of the beauty guru. And here's the thing. For me, I knew that that was my reality from the moment I really was considering putting videos on YouTube. I have never been a lot of the kind of conventional, descriptors. That's never been me. There's definitely been parts that fit, but a lot of them do not. So when I walked into this space as even a viewer, I was like, okay, well, I'm not really, what most people are. I'm not who most people are making videos for. And I'm cool with that. I have found creators that really excite me and bring so much joy. And I'm always open to finding more creators that do that. But I also am very realistic about the fact that I am not the normal viewer or creator. And so for me, I'm just like, I've always been weird. I'm always gonna be weird. And the magic and the terror of the internet is that anybody can find and make space on the internet. And for me, I have found and made space for all of me that I want to put out into the world. And the people that are here for that are fucking here for it. And everyone is welcome here. Everyone is fucking welcome here. But for the community that has found me, I feel so fucking grateful for y'all. And I'm actually really glad that I didn't, make this video as early as I could have. Because for me, the makeup hangouts that Audra has created and I've hopped into, they really have been this amazing, amazing reminder that my community and all of these communities are why the fuck I am here in the first place. And so I'm also here for the community. And, if y'all leave or shift or move or something, then that's something I will deal with. But right now, y'all are seriously why I'm here. And I say that with a lot of awareness that I don't want to, parasocially influence anybody to be here that's not into it. But I have just realized just how important y'all are. And yes, I like to hear myself speak sometimes. Actually, I don't, but that's another story for another day. But I am here for y'all, and like, you make this so much more fun than if I was just speaking into the void. I feel like I even kind of buried the lead here. The whole point, the whole crux of everything. Outside of why I'm here, what inspires me, which is the community, the creativity, the personal expression, the being the full weirdo that I am on the internet and in the world. I think that the split, the difference between people who are just, I want to be a beauty guru, I want to be a salesperson, and then so many of us who are refinding ourselves and maybe redefining ourselves, and the internet creatives of it all, is that we are tired of the systems that we are living in. And when I think a lot of us have started realizing that even this own new system of creating on the internet was still feeding into the same big issues and manipulations that 9-to-5 jobs feed into. And so we're like, okay, for a lot of us, we started doing this as an expression of ourselves, as an outlet, as something that is different from our day-to-day jobs, as something that is satisfying a part of ourselves that we are not being satisfied by in our regular life. So now we've hit a point, whether you started creating 2020 or whether you've been creating before that, I feel like the high intensity of the last couple of years, along with just the realities that so many of us have settled into about the systemic oppressions and the ways that these systems are built to keep us down. And I'm being 100% serious. This is not a joke. This is the reality of it. We're realizing that those things are also happening in our spaces online. And so us internet creatives, those of us that maybe have stepped away from being a beauty guru or have stepped away from creating at all, whatever it is, so many of us are realizing that we have to prioritize ourselves and our needs and not the manipulative, pushes of the capitalist machine. And to me, truly and honestly, that is the dividing line. There are the salespeople and people that are kind of doing that grind, hustle, we're going to build this something and, whatever. There are those people. And then there are creatives who are like, I don't want to have to interact with the demands of our systems as much as I can. We're not escaping capitalism because that's not really how this works. But we are sitting here and saying, I don't have to do the same things that my 9-to-5, 9-to-9 job demands of me. That's not what I want to replicate in my online space. So I'm not going to. So if I feel like making 1 video a week, 2 videos a week, that's what I'm going to do. If I feel like taking a break because that's what my mental health requires of me, that's what I'm going to do. If I don't feel like making video content for Instagram, fuck Instagram. That's what I'm going to do. So we have like found we have found ourselves in this new reality, or this realized space where these alternate forms of existing are just replicating what exists, but in this newly packaged, it's your own thing, your control of it, you can do whatever you want, but you really can't if you follow the way social media pushes you. So instead, we're doing what we want to do. We're doing it when we want to do. We are talking about new makeup. We're talking about old makeup. We're not talking about makeup at all. Whatever it is, I am still very much a makeup lover, and that is not changing. But I'm also, I love our community. I love the space that I'm building for people to exist in their full selves. And that's what I want. And my Patreon allows me to do that. I am so thankful for my patrons. And so for me, I'm going to keep creating. I am going to keep, doing things for patrons and members only in a way that is safe for them and safe for me. So that is a great space to support me. I know it's not for everyone, whether it's financial or personal reasons, but if you feel so inspired, definitely check me out over there. And anybody that's watching, if you have input or thoughts about what I can bring to my channel, you can definitely use the comments to voice that. You can also use my Patreon or channel post to do that as well. But I just, I don't feel uninspired to create in any way that's different than in the past, because I go through my waves of inspiration and lack thereof. The changes that have been happening do bum me out, but I am still really excited to have this space and to keep supporting creators that I'm excited by, and anybody that steps away from it or changes up their content, y'all are fucking valid and I support you still. And I think that's kind of the end of my thoughts on this topic for now. If you enjoyed this video and you would like to hear more of my opinions and thoughts and see more looks, definitely hit the subscribe button. I've already talked about other ways you can support me. Thank you so much to my patrons, my channel members, for everything you do for me, and hopefully everything I'm doing for you, ? And everyone watching, thank you for being here, and don't forget to take care of yourself better today than you did yesterday, because you are worth it. Bye, friends.